Hello, well, my name is Angelina Lee, and this is my lifelong learning journey map. Okay, so for my first future learning goal, it would be forming relationships. And by that, I mean relationships in terms of friendship, but also stuff like romantic as well. And even like familial relationships, like building strong, healthy relationships. And this is important to me because I find that relationships are fulfilling. You offer support, you learn skills, for example, communication. You also get support from friends and family, stuff like that. Which is why I think it's so vital. And then the steps I plan in order to achieve this goal would be to put myself out there, trying to be more active, trying to develop more healthy communication skills, for example, not being closed off, but also trying to communicate in a healthy and effective manner. Um, I think that, for example, forming relationships, not just relying on people to reach out to you and then acting on it, but also trying to put yourself out there as well, trying to form those connections on your own. And resources that I think would help me get to that point would be people, definitely. Just because, for example, if you might have an issue, sometimes it's good to just ask someone for a second opinion because sometimes they might help you see things more logically. And obviously, obstacles or roadblocks that might happen would be, for example, like maybe it's toxic, so maybe it's better to not have that friendship or like relationship. But at the same time, I think just moving on and taking it like, oh, this was either like a good experience or a misexperience and just learning from it and moving on is how I would approach it anyways. And learning artifacts that you might collect along the way would be just perhaps like text messages, just because then it shows the records and like the history of you talking and the whole relationship overall. So for my second one, my personal future goals would be stop procrastination, and it's something I really want to learn because I think it is something I really struggle with, and I think that if I did stop this, especially in the future, it would be something that would help me become very successful because I feel like that's the main thing that I'm struggling with overall. And I think the steps I would need to achieve this point in my learning journey would just be trying to build healthier habits, like trying to get things done quickly, and just making it a routine, basically. And resources that would help me get there would be people, because I think, my friends and family keep me accountable and they help me become the better me, honestly. And obstacles or roadblocks might be maybe I have a lot of on my plate, and then, like, I end up procrastinating because I'm like, "Oh, I'd rather do it later. I don't really wanna deal with this now," but just trying to push myself and go beyond even if I don't feel like it. And I think the learning artifacts that I might collect along the way would be basically just, um, seeing the results of my hard work, and achieving and doing things earlier. For my academic one, I would say obtaining a 4.0 GPA, just because it's something that I feel is really important to me because I always valued my grades and I always thought it was something important, something I tried to strive for. And not just a 4.0 GPA, but like for 2 semesters, because I've had a habit of always getting a 4.0 in one and then getting 1B in the second semester. So I feel like if I was able to break that and get a 4.0 overall, that's something that would be very special to me. And steps to take this or to achieve this would just be basically building healthier study habits, because I feel like if I was able to implement this into my routine, I would be able to achieve this goal. But also as well as like not procrastinating, doing things like that, and just trying to learn better and be a better student. And resources would include people probably, just because people, for example, my friends and family encourage me, especially when times are tough and I just feel like not doing anything, but they help me by pushing me forward and just telling me like keep going, working hard, and it really helps me, especially when I'm struggling at a certain point, like for example, maybe an exam or something like that. And that's basically how I overcome them. And the learning artifacts I would learn from this would be just like I suppose my grades and my transcripts, just showing my progress as a learner, like how what I was able to achieve through learning. And for my future goal, for my academic ones, anyways, would be obtaining a degree. It's something that's really important to me, and it's something I want to achieve because it is part of what I need to do in order to become a nurse, which is my main goal. And the steps I plan on taking in order to achieve this goal would be completing my prerequisites, and then also getting admitted in the BSN program, just so then I can do that for my senior and junior year of college, and then that would help me obtain a bachelor's degree for nursing. And the resources, people and classes that have helped me get there would be, or like people would be like friends and family, obviously, also advisors, just they help pick out my classes and everything like that and help me understand what I need to do. Programs, for example, the BSN program, just because that is what I want to do for my junior and senior year of or of college, and classes, because obviously I need to take the prerequisites, but also like the core classes for my major. And potential obstacles or roadblocks might be, for example, I might fail a class potentially. So far so good, but that would be something that would be difficult, and I'd probably have to retake the class. That's how I would overcome it pretty much. Or just something going wrong, but like I feel that my family is a good support system and they help me get through things, especially when I face challenges. And the learning artifacts I might collect along the way would be my grades per course, like as I progress in the years. That shows how I've grown, I guess, and also like receiving my diploma would show that I reached this goal. Um, and for my professional admission in the program, or for my career and professional future goal, it would be admission in the program, just because the BSN program is part of my learning goal because I want to become a nurse, and that is something that would help me get there, which is also why it's so important. And the steps that I plan to take, and also have somewhat taken, is just the steps I need to apply to the program, which have consisted of taking the HESI A2 exam, and also completing my prerequisites, which I'm somewhat like I'm still in the process of doing. Um, and also just applying overall, like those are the steps that I need to take, but also have somewhat taken, like mostly completed at this point. And the resources that I have used and need to get there would be people. For example, my advisor gave me advice on like what to do, like what clubs to join, um, what volunteer opportunities there are, what classes, and that really did help me honestly. And also like programs, for example, my nursing club, they gave me a lot of advice into what to do, especially like for the interviews, but also like the exam that I needed to take. And obstacles or roadblocks would be just challenges in classes, like for example, maybe not doing well on a test, and that affects my GPA because like I want to try and keep straight A's in order to be a more competitive student. And I think I would overcome this just by trying to push through it, like, especially even if it's hard, and trying to actively make plans to do better next time and actually going implementing them. And the learning artifacts for this would be, I suppose, just my grades and also my scores for the HESI exam, like stuff like that, documents like my progress as I've went through it. And lastly, my future learning goal would be improving patient outcomes. And by that, I mean, I want to become a nurse that actively grows, taking in information and trying to better myself, especially in the beginning, like when I'm still learning and there's stuff that I didn't know yet, and just taking that information as I keep going and going and becoming a better nurse and providing better patient care, because that's something that I think is very important as a nurse. The steps I need to take in order to achieve this would be, and also resources would be reaching out to people. I don't know everything, so like saying like just relying on myself only is only gonna not lead to good things, but also like seeing like hearing advice, seeing other perspectives is really great for growth, I believe. Um, and obstacles or roadblocks might be, for example, I don't know what to do or I make a mistake, but how I overcome them is I learn from them and I don't make that mistake again. And that's how you learn and grow, honestly. And the learning artifacts I might collect along the way is maybe I have I'm better at taking care of the patients, so like their health is better. And I just gain that experience overall. So yeah.